Check. Woo! Check. Mavs win a game one? Have I entered a dream world? The Mavs can win. It's allowed in the rule book. We need to check this. The Mavs can win a game one in the playoffs, and not just any round of the playoffs, but the Western Conference Finals? The third round of the playoffs? Wait a minute. You don't mean to tell me that unstoppable, absolutely unparalleled Minnesota Timberwolves defense could possibly give up a game on their home court in game one of the Western Conference Finals after being scorching hot from three and the Mavs unable to hit a three for most of the game. That is who these Mavericks are. That is who they are. This Mavericks team, we've been saying it for weeks and weeks. They fight, they scrap, they claw, they battle for every loose ball, they overcome their own absolute mental breakdowns on plays that you think, oh, I really hope that doesn't come back to haunt us. I really hope that turnover. I really hope that missed breakaway dunk. I really hope that play doesn't come back to haunt us. And this Mavs team puts forward such incredible maximum effort that they find a way. And in the playoffs, when you have the two best players on the floor, you can find a way. When your support players, even if they're not hitting threes, can scrap and claw and defend, you can find a way. 108-105. 108-105. And as it stands right now, the Mavs have taken home court advantage away from the unbeatable Timberwolves. That if you were watching national media over the last couple days, you would have thought that the Timberwolves were the actual favorite to win the finals. As a matter of fact, some people were talking like that. The Wolves, I don't see how anyone could stop the Wolves. And I kept saying, you know what? I think the Wolves are a fantastic defensive team. Absolutely great defensive team. But you know what breaks down fantastic defense? Guys who were unguardable one-on-one. Guys who were absolutely unguardable one-on-one. And, you know, like as we saw against the Thunder, right? There are certain guys who are just unguardable, like SGA. Like when he's hot, he's just totally unguardable. But how many teams, think. How many teams, put this in the comments if you can think of some. How many teams have two guys who are unguardable one-on-one? That if you double one, you're giving one-on-one to the other. Like how many teams have what the Mavericks have? Perimeter players that are absolutely unguardable one-on-one. I thought Lou Dort, now he fouled about 30 times a game, but I thought Lou Dort did about as good a job as someone can do humanly on Luka Doncic. But you can't guard him one-on-one. They're still trying to funnel him. They're still trying to push him into other defenders, right? And tonight, the Timberwolves, I think, ignorantly and arrogantly said, you know what? We don't have to double team that often. We play straight up defense. And what I just smiled when I saw that, because I'm like, oh boy, Kyrie and Luka are gonna cook. That first quarter didn't look great, 27-33, but Kyrie looked alive. Kyrie looked alive. Kyrie had a first half where he carried us forward. He carried the team there in the first half. Luka couldn't seem to get it going. The support players were not hitting wide open threes that we're always going to create for them. That stifling Minnesota defense sure was giving up a lot of open threes. I kept hearing the Thunder have as part of their strategy to give up open threes, but not the Timberwolves. They'll shut that action down. No. Kyrie and Luka collapse defenses. They create open looks. Them being on the floor is like as close to a guarantee for open looks that any support player will ever have. Right? So the Mavs come storming back in the second half, 32-29. So the Timberwolves have like a slight lead there going into halftime. Three-point lead going into halftime. Just seeing that right there. And then the defense kicks in. Look at that. The Mavs have done this several times to close out the regular season and have done it a little bit in the playoffs too. Look at that. A 21-point quarter for the Timberwolves. After McDaniels and Anderson and other support players were drilling threes in the first half and kind of almost like a placebo was making it seem like they were playing better than they were because their support players were hitting all of these threes. In the third, the Mavs put the clamps on them. Ant didn't even score in the third. He didn't even score in the third. So it's 23-21 in the third, and then the fourth, the Mavs just clutch it out. 26 points to 22 for a final of 108-105. Let's look at it. Let's look at some of these stats here. The Mavs shoot almost 50%, 49.5% from three. The TPups shoot under 43% from the field. So 49% to 42.7%. Look at that 3-point difference, though. It's not like the Wolves were good. I mean, they were just league average, about 37% from three. But look at the Mavs there. 24% from three on 6 out of 25. What makes a difference in wins and losses? Sometimes, guys, it's just the little things. 16 out of 17 free throws. The Timberwolves shot one more free throw than the Mavs did. But they only shot 11 out of 18, just about 61% from the stripe. And the Mavs shot 94% from the charity stripe. Turnovers, the Timberwolves had a huge lead at half. It was 5-10, but the Mavs clamp down, and they end up committing 5 turnovers in the second half. So really, I mean, 10 turnovers in a half is pretty in a game is pretty awesome for the Timberwolves. But the Mavs only have 3 second half turnovers. That is awesome. Rebounds advantage Mavs 48-40 against that huge, the biggest team in the world. Rudy Gobert, Cat, Naz Reid. No way, these guys are going to just dominate. Nope. We won the rebounding battle by 8. The assists was basically a push, 21-23. Tip your cap to the Wolves there. And then blocks. You would think that the Timberwolves would rival us at blocks. No, look at that. 8-3. Oh, we're going to talk about Derek Lively in just a second, aren't we? Aren't we going to talk about Derek Lively? You know we are. And then defensive rebounds and a 7 rebound advantage, 37-30. Offensive rebounds, 11-10. That's how the math works. Points off of turnovers, 14-9. 5-point advantage there for the Mavs. Points in the paint. Look at this. You may have been aware of this. I was not aware of this during the game. I don't think they talked about it. Look at the massive advantage in points in the paint for the Mavs tonight. 62-38. Fast break points. They actually got us. We didn't push a ton, and we missed some. Josh Green missed. We missed some fast break opportunities there. 9-12. The Wolves get the advantage there, and then second chance points. The Wolves get us there. 15-11. Who are we going to start talking out? Who are we going to talk about first tonight? Well, you know who it's got to be. It's got to be that man right there. Mr. Kyrie Irving. Unbelievable. In 40 minutes of game action tonight, he gives us 30 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, only a couple turnovers, gives us a block. I love it when Kyrie sneaks a block in there. That's just like an extra Christmas present. Like, you thought you'd opened up all your presents. Oh, here's a block. That's a nice little present. He's a +5 on the night. Great shooting percentages there, 12 for 23. Only took 3 threes and missed them all, but made all 6 of his free throws. And he, make no doubt about it, he carried us in that first half. He absolutely carried us in the first half. Who carried us in the second half? You know, the Slovenian superstar, Luka Doncic. 33 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. A very quiet first half, kind of like pulling a Kyrie basically, but he came out loud in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. 40 minutes for Luka, 33 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 turnovers, so a 2-to-1 assist to turnover is not what you want. You want it closer to 3-to-1. 3 steals for Luka. 3 steals for Luka and a block. 12 for 26 in the night, only 3 for 10 from 3, 6 out of 7 free throws though, and was a -9 on the night. So the Mavs actually lost the 40 minutes that Luka played by 9. That's hard to fathom, especially with how huge he was in the second half. Let's talk about the guy that everyone wants to crown as the face of the league. 40 minutes, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals. Oh, those are some nice numbers. 6 of 16 from the field. That ain't gonna do it. 5 of 12 from 3. Not bad there. That's quality. You want to pull that back, right? There was several wide open threes for Ant tonight that you don't want to give him. You don't just want to dare him to shoot him, right? You don't want to dare Ant or Cat to shoot threes, right? They clearly were daring McDaniels to shoot threes, and he obliged. So only a -1 for Ant tonight. But this is back-to-back very poor shooting performances for the young man who everyone wants to say is the greatest player in the world. How about McDaniels tonight? He was the real superstar, the one who was carrying the most water for the Timberwolves tonight. McDaniels here, 24 points, 4 rebounds, 6 3-pointers. Now here, I want to be confident and say I don't think he's doing that again. I don't think there's going to be another game where McDaniels is going to hit 6 3-pointers, 6 of 9 from 3. You could tell it was the Mavs strategy. We want him to shoot, and he drilled them. He was just fantastic, so hot. And the broadcast was saying over the last certain number of games, he has been on fire from 3. And the Mavs are just betting he's going to regress back to the mean. He's going to pull back to his normal percentages and not be some insane playoff riser as a shooter, right? 9 of 15 from the field. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. But it was almost all from range. My guess is you will not get another shooting game like this from McDaniels tonight. And by the way, that dude cannot guard Luka Doncic one-on-one. Luka is way too strong. And Luka I don't think he looks 100% yet, but Luka looking way quicker than he did in the previous 2 rounds of the playoffs. He doesn't have a chance, guys. He didn't have a chance. Luka was absolutely getting wherever he wanted on the court when McDaniels was guarding him tonight. So just let that be said. By the way, remember, Luka averaged 36 or 37 points in the 2 games he played against the Timberwolves in the regular season. I mean, for the most part, throw the regular season stats out the window when it comes to these high-pressure games. But Luka balled out. He scored with ease, with great percentages against the Timberwolves earlier this year. Who are we talking about next? Oh, man. The young GOAT. The 20-year-old monster. Derek Lively II. In 26 minutes, so just over half a game, 9 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. And I think he impacted far more shots than 2 blocks will give him credit for. 4 for 4 from the field, hit his 1 free throw, did have that turnover where he was so wide open he ended up traveling. That was kind of stinky. 4 offensive rebounds. And notice the plus-minus. A +19. He is the engine that makes this stellar defense go. Derek Lively II is the defensive engine. Derek Lively II is the defensive engine of this Mavs awesome defense. That is mind-blowing to say about a 20-year-old big. He is the straw that stirs the drink. He makes this defense elite. The stat we're about to show you is that when Derek Lively is off the floor, the defense is no longer elite. And that's most personified in Daniel Gafford, who in his 21 minutes was a negative 15. You might go like 10 points, 9 rebounds, a block, 5 of 9 from the field. Can't complain about that. You're right. Can't complain about the offense. But the negative 15, if this was just a single game, you just throw it away and go like, oh, that's okay. It's just variance. It's whatever. This is the whole playoffs, guys. This is the whole playoffs. The defense does not hum when Daniel Gafford is out there right now. Is this something he can work himself through? He can definitely be better than a negative 15. Of course. Of course he can. But he is just not the defender that Derek Lively is. D-Live is, I've been using this phrase, D-Live is a preternatural defender. He just gets defense. He's way bigger, way longer. Now, he's not as strong. He doesn't have the man strength that Gafford has yet, but D-Live is just a natural, elite defensive presence. And he's an insanely high basketball IQ. You can just see it. You can see him figuring things out. You ever seen the first Jurassic Park movie? Of course you had, because you're not a moron. There's a scene where they talk about the velociraptors, and the guide, the tour guide or whatever, the hunter, he goes, when she looks at you, you can tell she's working things out. Like she's solving problems, right? The head female velociraptor. And that's Derek Lively, man. He's just working things out. He's like this defensive savant who just gets it. You may get him once, you may get him twice. After a while, his little computer brain figures it out. And he's like, oh, that's what you like to do? Got it. I'm going to take that away. And the defense is just awesome when D-Live is out there, and it noticeably sags with Gafford out there. We're just not nearly as versatile. Gafford may block as many shots or even more shots than Derek Lively, but he doesn't do anything else defensively as well. He just does not. And so I love him as a backup, and I think starting next season, that's what he'll be. I doubt Kidd will take away his starting position in these playoffs, but you can see through the minutes distribution, Gafford gets 21, and D-Live gets 26, as it should be. As it should be. Who else we want to talk about? How about one Mr. P.J. Washington? Let's just start off by mentioning he's a plus 12 because he didn't score a lot tonight. He definitely didn't score much in the first half. 40 minutes of game action, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks. Only 4 of 10 from the field, but 2 of 8 from threes. 25% is not impressive, but we'll take it, right? 3 for 3 from the stripe. Hitting his free throws. 3 turnovers tonight. You don't like that from PJ, but he just doesn't look rattled, right? He just doesn't look rattled. He looks like he belongs on the court in the Western Conference Finals. PJ Washington, clutch free throw maker and taker. Woo! Woo! All right. I asked you guys, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? And this is what you guys said. Let's go. Here we go. Boom. Let's get the internet to work. All right. 14 of you have chimed in. What are you feeling? What are you thinking after that game 1 win? Dwight, what's up, Dwight? Dwight says, I was a little worried about Minnie's defense, which I do think we might see in the series. Not too worried about the mini threes, which I don't think will be that blistering all series. Yeah, great point. The defense is real. The defense is there, but the threes, I think, were kind of a mirage tonight. What do the Timberwolves do differently defensively? Right? What are they going to do to stop Luka and Kyrie? Like to really make it hard on them. What are they going to do differently? Are they going to adopt the Thunder strategy of letting Luka play one-on-one and doubling Kyrie? Because Lou Dort ain't out there, man. Lou Dort ain't on that other side this time. All right. Omar says, win or lose, I would have liked our chances because, man, I only see upside from here. Role players are going to step up from 3. Defensively, we played excellent. You can't prevent a hot hand out. And McDaniels had that blistering hot hand tonight. You're right, Omar. Iman says, the only thing that made the game close at the end was Cat jacking up some miracle makes. Dallas D completely shut him down at the end, just like it against OKC. Heck yeah. Both of these teams play great defense. I just think one of these teams may be more ready for this defensively and may have more answers defensively. Obviously, Ant could go off. But I like D. Jones against Ant. Now, is Ant overall the superior player? Of course he is. Of course he is. But I like Ant. And I like Ant in a switch, right? If they switch, I like PJ. They at least are athletic enough and long enough, to slow him down. Eric says, Lively is the second best player from this past draft class. The second best player from this past draft class. So Wemby, of course. Brandon Miller, man. Now, as far as winning basketball goes, Derek Lively II is playing winning basketball. But Brandon Miller looks like a number one. Or he certainly looks like a number one for a mid-tier team, right? Maybe not a superstar, but that dude can score, and you got to have those guys. But Derek Lively looks like he might be an absolute monster. So I love it. I love it. CJK says we won the magnets. We won the magnets for mini game. That's huge. Oh yeah. I know that's a phrase that gets tossed around sometimes. Yeah. The threes were falling like they were magnets pulling them through the cup, right? Yeah. Yeah. So who knows? The likelihood is that McDaniels is not going to be this hot again, right? Firebird says, Mavs robbed the Wolves blind on their court, shooting like Garbo from 3. Feels good. Yeah, the Timberwolves are going to go into their strategy room, right, and their chalkboard, and they're going to start planning. But they didn't really see the Mavs offense tonight, did they? They didn't see the true Mavs being unleashed tonight. Brian just says, victory. Heck yes. Colleen says, I see they've worked on patience. Oh, I like that insight. Yeah. Patience, my mom always says, is a virtue, right? Patience. Absolutely. If you can operate with patience, you're going to have an advantage over a lot of situations. Dylan says, we're going all the way. Oh, Dylan, let's just get game 2. Let's go back to Dallas up 2-0. How about that? Chris says, Luka is back. Dwight adds a Ric Flair. Woo! Yeah. Strandon, what up, Strandon? We win a game shooting 10% from 3. I think it was closer to 25%. Feeling is immaculate right now. Let's go. Let's go indeed. Yeah, we got another let's go there from Bar Bender. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Man, we should feel great tonight. We should. This was just, listen, the win is amazing. Kyrie in the first half was amazing. Because we just gotten, I'll speak for myself, I had just gotten so used to seeing a passive first half Kyrie, saving it for the second half. And it's worth noting he wasn't as unstoppable in the second half, right? He let Luka kind of carry the water for the team, and Luka stepped up and did. But we take this win, we put it on the shelf, and as Mavs fans, we need to say to ourselves, awesome, we won a game 1. We all need a high five and hug. But then we need to look at each other and go, that wasn't our best punch. That wasn't our best game. We can be so much better than that. Can't we, Mavs fans? Can't we? Heck, yes, we can. Guys, have an awesome night. Go Mavs. Check. Oh, here we go. I'm feeling it. Here we go.